Seu mais recente livro lançado aqui no Brasil, embora seja antigo, eu disse esse aqui, é O Descontentamento da Democracia. E ele foi atualizado à luz dos eventos do Capitólio e também da pandemia de Covid-19. Como se não tivesse havido o Capitólio, ou talvez porque tenha havido o Capitólio, nós tivemos o nosso 8 de janeiro. Apesar de tudo que Jair Bolsonaro fez ao longo de 4 anos, as instituições não foram capazes de impedir que a sede dos 3 poderes fosse depredada por radicais terroristas internos, segundo a avaliação de alguns ministros do Supremo. Por quê? Por que a democracia não consegue agir antes de esses limites serem totalmente esgarçados, explodidos, e tem algo que se possa fazer no campo do poder público para evitar que o ressentimento da globalização e com a democracia continue a causar esses estragos?
Well, there are 2 levels of possible prevention of this kind of attack on the capitals of democracy, the symbolic centers of democracy. From a purely law enforcement point of view, certainly speaking about the Capitol attack in the United States, with which I'm more familiar, there was a terrible failure of law enforcement and of intelligence and of coordination in advance. And that's been investigated, and that was sorely lacking. And whether that was the case in Brazil, you will know better than me. But that's at the level of law enforcement and preparing for demonstrations. But there's a broader question about how to prevent such episodes from happening. It's not happened in American history until now, until the January 6th episode, where the supporters of a defeated presidential candidate made a violent attack on the U.S. Capitol. That hasn't happened before. So it isn't only a problem of law enforcement. It's also a problem of the political climate and the public culture, which I think has deteriorated and eroded the democratic norms that say, whatever else democracy means, it means that when you lose, you leave. That fundamental democratic norm was eroded by Donald Trump. And so this is the broader problem that goes well beyond law enforcement. It's how to restore the norms, accepting the outcome of elections, doing it with civility, and undertaking to compete again to try to win the next time.
Trump e Bolsonaro deveriam ser extirpados da disputa política?
You mean prevented from running again?
Proibidos de concorrer novamente, sim.
Well, let me speak first about Donald Trump. He has not been prevented from running again, and he is running again. And among Republicans, he is by far in the lead at the moment over his Republican challengers for the nomination. Now, he's been indicted 3 times, and soon will be a 4th time. And he's facing charges, including charges related to the events leading up to January 6th. I think that's entirely appropriate. Now, here's the interesting thing. Even if he is convicted and sent to prison, there's nothing in the U.S. Constitution, believe it or not, that would prevent him from running and even being president from prison. Now, the U.S. Constitution doesn't speak about that because the framers never imagined this scenario. So it never occurred to them to cover. It seems strange at best to think that someone convicted of serious crimes, including crimes connected to overturning an election, should be allowed to seek the presidency, much less win the presidency again. And that's the predicament in which we may find ourselves.